Hello, I'm Christine Schiavone, and our show is Spiritual Exploration. Tonight, I have a guest who has not been with us for a while. It's a good 3 years since we've seen Mark Eadicicco, our resident witch, as I call him. And we are going to talk tonight about modern witchcraft. I wanted Mark to come on the show to talk about this because I've seen a lot of cases on television where people are making a lot of mistakes trying to practice witchcraft, and they're causing a lot of problems. So without further ado, I'd like to reintroduce and say hello and welcome to Mark. Hey, how you doing?
Very good. Christine, thank you for having me again.
Oh, my pleasure, always. I'm surprised. I mean, time flies.
It flies by.
It's 3 years since you've been on the show.
On the show, absolutely.
Anyway, and I did miss you, and I didn't realize that much time had gone by, to tell you the truth.
Time just flies by, and it's like change and time, and it's just...
That's it.
We can't help it.
That's it. We can't help it.
We can't help it.
Now, we have discussed witchcraft on a couple of shows. One of them, we discussed witchcraft, but I think they were going to bring out some other points tonight that have not been said, because mainly my main concern is this. I watch a lot of shows about hauntings.
Yes.
And I'm interested in hauntings. I'm interested in ghosts. I'm interested to know when something goes bump in the night, what's going on. Anyway, and so I watch these shows, and I've seen very often on some of these shows where somebody would think, oh, I think I'm going to do witchcraft, so I'm going to go to the library or a bookstore, and I'm going to get a book, and I'm going to look in the book, and I'm going to say, I'm going to do the spells, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do, and then they wind up wreaking havoc in their lives because they're not doing it right. They're not doing
it correctly.
Not doing it correctly. No. They think that they know what they're doing, and they really don't.
Right.
And I've actually seen on some of these programs where they have conjured up a demon or a really bad energy that would haunt them and taunt them and really give them a hard time for years.
And it's not just because people think, oh, because I practiced in the house, that it will stay in the house. No, that energy will follow you. Mm-hmm. When you do an incantation, you're basically calling in something that's could be positive or negative, depending on. You have to have a knowledge of the craft. That's number one. So if you have a knowledge of the craft, you can definitely pull something positive in that can help you along and empower you. But you can also pull something that's evil or satanic.
Yeah.
And that's when you open up portals, just like a Ouija board.
Yeah.
You'll open up a portal, and sometimes you can't close that portal, and you have to go to someone that knows what they're doing to close the portal itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because you can't be too careful with these things. If you want to do something like that, you have to really go to somebody that knows what they're doing to teach you, and not just go buy a book and sit down and let's conjure this one up, and let's do this incantation, and the next thing you know, you're having problems and you got bad spirits around you. As far as generally speaking is concerned, though, what is a witch?
A witch is a person who practices a nature-based religion. A witch can be a male or a female. And a lot of people use the term Wicca because it's a safe word. The term witch I use only because I feel that the word witch empowers us. The word Wicca, it means a male witch, and the word Wicca means a female witch. So it's W-I-C-C-A is a male witch, W-I-C-C-E is a female witch.
Ah.
But we're all witches. It's...
Right. Well, what about the word warlock? Where'd that come from?
Warlock came from bewitched. You know what I'm saying?
They made it up.
They made it up. But during the burning times, when you were called a warlock, it meant that you were a traitor. So it's not really nice to be called a warlock, especially this day and time.
I see.
People will come into the shop and they'll say, are you a warlock? And I'm like, absolutely not. A witch is a witch.
Right. Well, I even asked you that question when I first met you.
Some people don't know. Some people just don't know because we're so used to the stereotypes in the media, like the movie The Craft or Bewitched.
Right.
Yeah.
So they make up stuff, and then people think that it's real.
Absolutely.
Because people have said to me, well, why do you say that Mark is a witch? Isn't he a warlock? I says, no. He says that witch, male and female are all witches.
Exactly.
All right, fine. You know, that's okay. So, so then, as far as witchcraft is concerned, then you learn it as a craft from a person who teaches. Now, you were taught by
Lori Cabot.
Lori Cabot,
Right.
and she's the chief witch of Salem.
Lori Cabot is the official witch of Salem, and she taught me. And now through
Did
my
you have
teachings,
to go up there
I
all
teach.
the time? Yeah, I know
Well,
you teach.
I actually graduated from her class, but I did. I used to have to go up there 8 times a year.
For
So
your
it was
lessons.
a lot of work.
Oh, I'm
It
sure
was
it
a lot of
was.
work. So, like when a student comes to me, you know, I try to be just as tough on them because I figure, you know, you have to have discipline when it comes to anything. You know, martial arts, witchcraft. You have to have discipline in what you're doing,
Oh,
and
sure.
you have to want it.
Well, the same thing. If you're going to play an instrument or something, you have to be disciplined to do it,
Right.
so that you can excel at it.
Exactly.
Right, right. So, have you had anybody come to you that had tried to dabble in it and was having a hard time or something?
Oh, I've had people come to me that would dabble in it, and they would actually tell me they were possessed by demons. Mm-hmm. You know, I always say 9 out of 10 times, you know, I'm an underpaid psychologist. You know, because sometimes people don't realize that when it comes to witchcraft and it comes to demonology, you know, 9 out of 10 times, sometimes we curse ourselves or we hex ourselves. So there really isn't that much out there, but that 1% can cause chaos or havoc.
Yeah.
But, you know, there is evil and negativity out there, but a lot of times we bring it upon ourselves. We cross ourselves.
By calling something in that.
Absolutely. Even by having a negative thought. Staying in a relationship that's not for
good.
you. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes you might want to stay, but it's time to move on.
In other words, you can bring bad vibes,
Absolutely.
bad energies upon yourself by doing negative things.
Yep.
By doing negative things, staying in negative relationships, just being an all-around negative person.
Exactly.
So you think that, well, they do say that having positive thoughts and doing positive things can bring you good things too, can call in good things.
Anytime we do something good, it will come back to us threefold. Anytime we do something bad, it will come back to us threefold.
So what you do comes back to
Exactly.
you. It goes around, comes around.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I always believed, and we see it often.
Yeah.
We also see what it's called karma.
Oh.
And we've even seen instant karma. I mean, I've seen on TV sometimes.
1, 2,
People
3,
goes,
karma
somebody
can
goes
happen.
to hit somebody and ends up on the floor themselves or
Yeah.
something. Instant karma.
Yeah, instant karma. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And I always believe that when things are supposed to come out, they do come out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So never try to make a fool out of a person because it will come out.
Oh
You know,
sure.
and it may hurt the person or break that person's heart, but you need to know it. You need to know up front. And like I do readings, and you know, I'm very blunt, and I'll tell the person, you know, if somebody's cheating on you, whether it's emotionally or physically, you know, you could break that other person's heart.
Oh sure.
Because, you know, you'll think back to positive times, like times that you might have went to Puerto Rico. Just say off the top of my head.
You went away on
You went away on vacations, or you did things together, and then all of a sudden you find out that your current is talking to their ex or something. It could cause a lot of controversy.
Sure.
And, you know, kind of make the other person almost fall apart. So I try to, like, pick them up.
Oh, I know
and
what you
help
mean.
them
Yeah.
as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, well, people can fall apart
Oh,
over
absolutely.
things like that, I'm sure. You know, and
It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's hard. Relationships, 99.9% of my readings are relationships.
Yeah, well, that's one of the big things.
Yeah.
Relationships and
And
finances.
then you get a little bit of money.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit of money people want.
Mostly,
But
well, you
mostly
know,
love.
We all have to deal with each other on a daily basis.
Yes.
And some of those dealings can be difficult depending on who you're dealing with and what the subject is and all that kind of stuff. People can turn on you.
Oh.
Somebody think that is really
It's
close.
so weird because you can think you're so close to a person, and then, like you just said, they could turn on you.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you can find out something in a second, and it just turns your
Changes
world
everything.
upside down.
Yeah, it changes
and you
everything.
can never get that back.
That's true.
No matter how much you try,
It's true.
you can never get that back.
That's true.
And the type of person I am, it's like if you do something, can I use the words? Screw me over?
I guess.
Well,
I don't think
yeah,
that's one of the no-no
if you
words.
mess me over, you know, or screw me over,
Or do me dirty.
yeah, I kind of always hold a grudge, but that's just me. That's not everybody. And you know, as being spiritual, that's something I have to learn.
Well, you know what it is? It's not that you hold a grudge. You have to find forgiveness in your heart, but just don't bother with the person anymore. Just say, you know, all right, I forgive you, but
the time
don't
ran
think-
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're through.
Right.
You know, you're in the past, and have a nice life, and let's move on.
You know, and sometimes it's hard because you shared so much together.
Exactly, it is. And
And-
even if it's platonic friendships that you're
Yeah.
talking about, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know,
Lovers.
intimate
No.
relationships. Even platonic friendships. You love the person like a sister or a brother.
Right.
And then they turn around and they do something to you, and you just doesn't feel the same anymore.
No.
But let's get back to our subject
Please.
here.
I talk so much, I always go off gear.
Right. Now, as far as your worshiping is concerned.
Yes.
All right. Now, you were brought up Catholic, right?
My dad was an altar boy.
Yeah.
My mom went to Catholic school for 12 years, but she always lit candles in the kitchen. She would always light incense.
Yeah.
So it was something that I was accustomed to. I just took it to the next level.
Uh-huh.
I never bashed any other religion.
Right.
It just wasn't for me. So when I found witchcraft and I found Laurie Cabot, it just kind of fit.
Well, that's because that's the road that you were meant to
Exactly.
walk on.
That was-
But you still have your basic beliefs in God and Jesus and all that?
Well, I believe Jesus was a magician, and I believe Jesus was ahead of his time. So I believe that a lot of what he went through it because, you know, with the crucifixion and the bashing and all that, because he was a healer.
Yes.
You know, he was ahead of his time because he does exactly the same thing that witches do. We're healers, we're teachers, you know.
You're psychics.
We're psychics, so the same things that he did, we do. So I always say, you know, I always respect Jesus as a magician.
Or maybe the first witch or something?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I
you know,
hate to be blasphemous,
I
but
get, you know, a lot of mail on that because people say, you know, Jesus wasn't a witch, but Jesus definitely was a magician. Hands down.
Oh, he did. Look at all the
Hands
miracles
down.
that
Absolutely.
he did. Turning water into wine,
Yep.
healing the sick, the lepers, bringing people back from the dead.
Absolutely.
That's that's no easy thing to do, you know? And only he could do it.
Exactly. You know, I had a good friend who just lost his grandfather. And, you know, they did the Mass Catholic. And it was one of my good friends. And, you know, I'll still sit there and I'll still respect everything,
Sure.
you know. And he was there with his family. And I don't know if he has a current now or whatever's going on, but, you know, I sat there and I respected it. You know, I always say when you disrespect another religion, you disrespect yourself.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
that's
not,
true.
you know, it's not in my agenda to ever disrespect anyone.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy. I
And
try.
I'm no saint, believe me, I'm no saint, but this is just
None of us
what I
are.
live by.
Yeah.
And, you know, if people say they're a saint, you know, you kind of, I saw this on Wendy Williams the other day. She kind of looks, she gives you a side eye, you know?
Uh-huh.
Because we've all done stuff in our past. We might not want to admit it, but we're not saints.
None of us are. Nobody's
know?
perfect, and everybody's a sinner. You know, how they say, you know, he's without sin can cast the first stone, and
Exactly.
everybody walks away because
Exactly.
nobody is without sin. Everybody, even if it's just a thought, or you know, I mean, you don't have to be killing somebody to be a sinner. You can just
at all.
be thinking negative thoughts, and you know, and God doesn't want us to be that way because He wants us to be happy. You know, and I'm sure that every religion, including witchcraft, wants their members to be happy.
Exactly, and that's why, you know, even Laurie Cabot, she'll always say in Witchcraft 101, never bash any other religion. We're not here to do that. We're here to learn.
Yeah, you're there to learn. You're there to be able to do some good in the world.
Exactly.
I know. What do you think about? I mean, I know I've known several Christian ministers who actually really do put down witchcraft. Oh, it's evil, it's the devil's work, and God doesn't want that and all that. What do you say about that?
Well, you know, I say sometimes that the person, and not to take offense, but they could be ignorant because they haven't done their homework in looking at certain books that talk about paganism and how even Christmas and Halloween, how it first started, it started through paganism. Even the wedding band, the circle of a wedding band
Really?
represents the circle of life, and that's a pagan term.
Wow.
Yeah. So bringing a Christmas tree into your home brings light into your home.
Wreaths and holly
Wreaths
and
carving
decorations.
jack-o'-lanterns. You know, we keep away evil.
People do that all the time, and they don't
don't realize it.
Yeah, they don't realize that they've taken this from the pagans.
Absolutely.
I know. I mean, even the date that we celebrate Christmas, December 25th, is 4 days after the winter solstice.
Yep.
And the Christians back then took that date to take away the believability from the pagans.
Exactly.
But December 25th is not the birth of Christ.
No, because I think it was a 10-month calendar at first.
Yes.
I had heard.
They had a 10-month calendar, which March 31st was New Year's Eve instead of December 31st.
Right, and now it's the spring equinox.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it was March 31st, and April 1st was New Year's Day. And that's the reason that they call April 1st April Fool's Day, because of the fact that when they changed it to January 1st, there were people that were still celebrating March 31st as New Year's Eve, and all those people are fools. So the next day was April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Right.
So, yeah, but for some reason they changed it. It came out better with 12 months and the way it was all set up. The calendar that was done by Julius Caesar or something like that.
Exactly, and they kind of switched it around
And then they made it what it is today.
Exactly. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said to them, I didn't realize that the propaganda worked so well, you know, the Christian propaganda against witchcraft.
Uh-huh.
Because there's so many, you know, misconceptions of who we are and
what you do.
What we do and what we don't do.
Let's talk about what you do and what you don't do. We know that you don't worship Satan.
We don't worship Satan, and we don't harm animals.
And you don't kill animals
Not
or
at all.
people. You don't have
Not at all.
live sacrifices. If you do have a sacrifice, it would be what, a piece of fruit or something, right?
Yeah, we would actually leave a bowl of fruit out for the gods and goddesses.
Yeah.
Sometimes even you may want to prick your own finger. And sometimes a little bit of blood will come out, and you may want to use that in your spells. But you would never use somebody else's blood.
Really?
With me, I can't do it. I can't prick my own finger for nothing. So I can't.
Good thing you're not diabetic, eh?
Good thing I'm not diabetic, and good thing I don't do drugs, because
Right.
I would never be able.
Oh, I could never.
I could never. I don't know how these people do it.
Whenever I get a shot from a doctor or something like that,
feel like
they
I'm gonna
gotta put it
pass
over there,
out.
and I'm looking over
Exactly.
there. You know.
You're like me.
Yeah. So it's true. All right. So we know what you don't do. You don't
Yeah,
do all
we
this
don't
evil
do-
stuff that people say you do. But what do you do?
Well, what we do is we actually practice the 8 Sabbaths, and that's our 8 holidays. And they're broken up into 8 equal parts, with Halloween being our highest holiday.
Uh-huh.
It's called Samhain,
Right.
and it's on New Year.
That's your New Year.
It's
right?
on New Year. We also have the winter solstice, which would be our Christmas. We have Ostara, which would be our Easter.
So
but
that
it
you
all
just celebrated?
Yep, but it all falls on either equinoxes or like the spring equinox or spring equinox, the fall, the spring, summer, the winter.
Each equinox.
Exactly.
And you have like a ceremony of some sort?
We do a ceremony, and we put our robes on because those are our high holy days.
Okay.
And
Well, just like in the Catholic Church.
Exactly.
Priest puts on separate garments for different things.
And we have different colors for the different holidays as well.
Uh-huh.
And, we do our rituals and we do our practices. And I have to say, 9 out of 10 times, they work.
I'm sure.
They work.
One of the practices now also is lighting candles, just as Catholics go into church and light a candle and say a
Absolutely.
prayer to God or a saint or whoever. All right? You have different colors for different things. Like if you want money, you'll light a green candle. If you want love, you might
like
pink or red.
Yep.
And you'll burn it for a certain amount of time on certain days, and et cetera, until it burns out. And hopefully it will bring in whatever you're looking for.
Exactly, whatever you want to manifest or bring into your life. And I always tell people, make sure whatever you ask for, that it's always right and correct, because you just might get it. You know the old saying?
Oh yeah,
Watch
I
what
mean,
you wish for.
don't ask for something bad for
Right.
somebody.
Watch what you wish for, because you just
Or-
might get it.
Right, or
Yeah.
if you are interested in a certain person and you wish for that person and they come into your life and they turn out to be a real not so good person.
You might just want to say, bring somebody that's correct and right for me.
Exactly. You ask for who is best for me, who's going to treat me kindly and be good to me, that I can be good to back and have a nice relationship, and that's what you ask for.
Exactly. And I have people that come to me that have been in relationships for years, and then all of a sudden it just kind of disintegrates, and they're like, I thought it was going good, and then I just say, well, that person wasn't for you, and we'll do another spell, and we'll bring somebody who's right and correct for you in. We'll never bring, we'll never make a zombie out of somebody.
No, you can't.
Because that's karma.
No, that's
karmatic.
and that's it's not good to try to control
Never.
somebody else and
Never.
their actions and their feelings. Can't do that
You
because
can't do that.
it doesn't last.
Exactly, and then you have to keep doing candle after candle, and then
To
it
keep
gets
it going.
redundant.
And then you get tired of it.
Exactly.
And then you say goodbye. Right. I know what you mean. Sure.
Keeps the house lit, but after a while you don't want to see it.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
And then after a while
It's
you
like, come
realize
on.
too, this is not right.
I'll tell people, you can light 100 candles. If it's not right and correct for you, it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah, it's true. And and it's a good thing that the universe takes care of us that way.
Yes.
Because if something's not good, I mean, I've seen where I wanted this or that or the other thing over the years of my life and didn't get the certain things, and then turned around and later on realized, wow, if that had happened, I would be having a problem here or there.
Exactly.
Or this would be making things worse for me.
And then sometimes we say thank the universe, because I'm in doing a lot of media right now, and there was a question that popped into my head when I was doing my taxes, and if I didn't ask my accountant that question, I would have been in a lot of trouble. So the universe, I feel, made me
Put the question
put
in
that
your
question
mind
in my mind.
and made you say it.
Exactly.
I know. I feel that happens a lot too, where I might talk to somebody about something that I had no plan on talking about, and all of a sudden I'm saying things, and whatever it is,
Yeah, it just kind of comes out.
it comes out.
Absolutely.
Like you're being controlled in some way, but it's for your own good.
Exactly. Now that I do medium readings, sometimes too, you'll just walk up to a person, which I don't like to do because I don't like to invade people's privacy. If they come to me for that specific reason, that's another story. But, I'll have people that will come to me and they'll, want to talk to their mom or their dad. And 9 out of 10 times, that spirit or that energy will come through. And I find it so humbling that I'm able to have that gift.
In other words, that you've been chosen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and to me, it's a gift, and it's a humbling gift. And I would never, never take advantage of somebody. You know, I've had people come to me and say, you know, how much your readings? And I'll say, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, well, I only have so much. And I'll say, you know what?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Right.
You need this reading.
Right.
Because you wouldn't be here if you didn't need it.
That's right.
And then the universe will take care of you.
That's right. Yeah. It's true. It's true. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be kind to each other. We've been put here to help each other.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about God? He doesn't care about anything except how we treat each other.
Exactly.
He wants us to treat each other well. He wants us to be there. He wants us to not judge each other, not bring false witness against each other, not put each other down.
No gossip.
And gossip and all kinds
I
of...
don't care if you're black, white.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We're all human. We're all put here for a reason.
And that is to be good to each other.
Kind and peaceful.
That's it.
And then if you can't be peaceful with one another, then you move away from that person.
That's it.
And that's the deal.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know?
If somebody is not good for you,
Right.
you just move away
You have to
from
move
them.
away, and it may hurt, and
Does
it may take
sometimes,
a
yes,
while.
yes.
You know, and especially if you're with somebody for a long time,
Right.
it's gonna hurt.
Of course.
It's gonna hurt. Like we were talking about, you know, little things will remind you.
Yeah.
And it could be little stupid things of, you know, a TV show can remind you, but you got to get past it.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get past it.
You always
and
have
we
to
all went through breakups, and we all went through rejection in our lives, but we have to be strong and tough. And when it comes to witchcraft, I always say we empower ourselves through witchcraft.
Empower. Now, how do you empower yourself?
Because with witchcraft, it's almost like a sovereignty. Like Laurie Cabot says, you take your crown and you pull it down tight. In our tradition, she believes in the King Arthur times a lot.
Oh, yeah?
So she believes in King Arthur and
So what times
Morgan
were that?
Le
Like
Fay.
around the Middle Ages?
Yeah,
or
around
something?
the round table and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
So she always says, Excalibur, pull your crown down tight and don't let anybody ever hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you'll get bad news and, you know, you just got to keep going on. You got to keep pushing. And, you know, sometimes you have to readjust your life just to kind of push through.
Yeah.
But I know with my craft that I'll be able to push through no matter what it is. And same thing, you know, if you were going through something bad, you'd be able to push through.
Oh, sure, but because you have to.
You have to. You have no
What's
other choice.
the alternative? Right? Is
Yep.
to just fall into a hole and die or something.
Exactly.
So you can't do that, so you have to just
You
keep going.
keep on going.
So tell us more about what do witches do, that, especially the good stuff. Now, we already eliminated the bad stuff that they don't do, that people think they do, but they don't. Now, we talked about your holidays and your lighting candles and all of that. So tell me about spells. What's that all about?
Well, a spell is just a prayer and a projection. A spell basically is it's like going to church on Sunday. When you light a candle,
Yeah.
that's all it is. You're lighting a candle to get to manifest a spell of something that you want to bring into your life, and as long as it's right and correct, you'll receive it. You can also receive it if it's not right and correct, but why would you want it?
Won't be good for you,
Why would
right.
you want it? Why would you want to waste
It'll
your
make
time?
you miserable.
Yeah. And, you know, actually, by kind of like sitting here now talking to you, I almost feel very relaxed.
Almost?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you do TV and kind of stuff like that, and you got the cameras in your face, you get a little nervous, but I feel very relaxed with you. Always, always, you know.
Well, it's because we're friends.
And
you
like
have
I
to be
said,
relaxed with your friends.
Yep, like I said, you were the first one that came into the shop when I opened the shop, and I did a projection to actually be on your show.
Yeah, I know.
And the weird thing is, you were going to the Salvation Army. You popped across the street.
Yeah, it was the Alzheimer's, actually, the thrift shop. I was on my way.
Yep.
And I happened to see the purple canopy
Yep.
that said Practical Magic on it. And I said, gee, oh, wow, that looks interesting.
Exactly.
So on the way back, I parked the car and I came in.
And then we started talking and we just clicked.
Now, you said you had put out like some kind of energy or something because you knew about me in the show.
Right.
And you wanted to be on the show.
Absolutely.
And when I walked in, you said, you know, I put out some energy to get you interested in walking into this shop, and it worked.
And it worked. And the energy that I did wasn't bad. It was just to
Sure,
open
it was
the door.
good. Sure, exactly.
It was just to open the door. And so when you walked in, I said
because
to
it was all good stuff
Yep.
after that.
I said to my mom, I said, you know who that is? I said, that's Christine from CTV, Spiritual Exploration. She has her own show. And at that time, my mom was battling chemo. So she wasn't watching a lot of TV at the time. But I explained who you were, and she was just so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's nice. Oh, she was a nice lady.
thank you.
I was really sorry to hear when she passed.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, life is tough, but
My
she's
parents are both gone too. That was hard.
and the
It's
whole
very
thing
difficult.
is that always around us, but you know, sometimes we get a little selfish and we want them in the physical.
Yeah.
But I always say to my clients, they're always around us. Look for signs.
Oh yeah, you always get
Yeah,
signs.
look for those signs.
You hear something that, well, why did I just hear a noise?
Or something, a song that'll come on the radio.
And you'll know,
that's-
yes.
Yeah, that's not like the top 100 songs.
Exactly. Well, years ago,
You
my
know.
mother's gone like 27 years now. She and I, when this song was popular, was "Those Were the Days," my friend,
Yep.
right? And whenever it came on, we would sing it to each other.
Aw.
And so I know she's around on the rare occasion, actually, that I hear the song come on the radio. I say, I know you're here with me, Mom, because I hear that
You
song.
can feel it.
You can feel it, yeah.
Yep.
And you think in a way sometimes that they're controlling,
Oh, but they do.
that
They-
they'll, let me make that song come on the radio so that she'll know I'm around.
Because they can use the airwaves, the electrical airwaves
Sure.
to kind of put that through. I remember my mom's favorite song was "Unforgettable" by Nat King Cole. So every time I hear it, I think of her.
Right, of course, because
know?
and every time you hear it, it's like her saying, I'm here.
I'm here, exactly.
I know, it's the same
And
thing.
you know, I feel like in personal life, you know, I have a feeling I'm going to be going through, not business-wise, just like personal-wise. So I kind of feel like Mom's going to be with me a lot.
Oh, sure.
The next couple of
when,
weeks.
When you're having difficult times, your loved ones do rally around you and try to give you comfort. I remember the last time that I dreamt of my mother was the night that Frank passed away.
Oh,
Remember Frank Dudley?
I loved him.
Yeah, he was a great
was a
guy.
good- a
Everybody
very
loved
good
him.
guy.
Everybody loved him. Anyway, though, so and I think it must have been like around the hour that he was passing, and I was asleep. And I was in Ohio, actually. I was with my family. It was Thanksgiving
think
time,
I
just
remember
after
that,
Thanksgiving.
yes.
December 5th. It was
Yep.
right after Thanksgiving. I was due home in another 2 days when I get the call that Frank had passed.
Well,
Anyway, though, so, but my mother, I believe, came to comfort me knowing what was going on, because she absolutely looked beautiful. We hugged each other and everything, you know, and then it was like the following evening that I got the call, and I said, that's why she came to me in the dream, because she was telling me, I guess, I'm going to be there for you. You know, 'cause
Exact-
she knew
she
what I
was
was about to
there.
embark on that I didn't
Exactly.
even know yet.
Exactly. And they know it. So once a person starts to dream about spirit, like when my mom was passing, she dreamt of her dad. And she didn't want to tell me because she knew I would know if she was dreaming about her dad was coming for her. So usually if somebody's very, very ill and someone who passed before we start to dream about,
Yeah.
they're usually coming for us.
Or sometimes it's even more than a dream. It's they actually see
Oh, it's
a person.
premonition.
Because I remember
Yep.
when my grandfather was dying back in 1979, and my grandmother had predeceased him by 19 years. She'd passed in 1960. Anyway, though, and he kept saying that he saw her standing in his room with a rose in her hand. So we knew he's.
Yep.
And it was about 3 weeks later he was gone.
Yeah, he was gone. And the rose is acknowledgement of their love. And
Yeah,
they were,
red rose.
They were together, but they were still married, not divorced, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Because what I'm getting to is that your grandmother passed first?
Yeah, 19 years before my grandfather.
Because your grandmother's here.
Now?
Yeah.
Ah.
And she's telling me that your grandfather was the love of her life.
Aw.
They met very young, didn't they?
I really don't know their whole story, but it
Try
could
to
be.
find out, because I feel like they, I feel like
Well, they both came over from Italy.
from Italy. She's telling me he was the love of my life.
And I'm sure
And-
they're together.
Yep. And even with you're having problems with your mom. Are you having problems dreaming of your mom?
Well, like I
Or
said, the
you-
last time I dreamt of her was 4 years ago when Frank passed away.
Okay.
So I haven't dreamt of her since.
Mom's around.
Oh, I know she
Yeah,
is.
mom's around.
You see, I think they know that I don't have to dream about them to know
That they're there.
that they're
Exactly.
around me.
But
So-
please know, because your grandmother came through very strong, and she wants you to know that her and your grandfather were so tight. And I love that. I love when a couple is so tight, because they can make it through anything.
I know. Well, you know, when my
And-
grandmother passed, I took it very bad. I
Yes.
cried a lot. And my grandfather, he didn't, I don't think he stopped crying for 19 years. You know, until
well,
he was
let me tell you,
reunited with her.
It's been 9 years since my mom passed.
Is it that long?
Yep, and my dad still doesn't want to go out and do things. Sometimes I have to push him to do things.
Yeah, well, he
you
should
know?
really.
Don't
I
get mad,
mean,
Dad.
You can't. You can't just close up your life. You have to continue living.
Exactly, and my mom would want that.
You sure?
You know, because my mom was very
and he
strong.
should know that.
Exactly. But with my dad, it's almost like I almost feel like he feels safe. And through witchcraft and because when you look, witchcraft and the paranormal and mediumship and psychic readings, they all go hand in hand. So it's all one.
Oh yeah.
You know,
sure.
so we didn't go off topic. It's just all of it's one. All of it's one.
Oh,
know?
I'm sure. So anyway, though. So now, so you became a witch with Laurie Cabot, and you've probably taught a lot of people too, huh?
I've taught, God, it's over 300 or more people.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite a few witches running around Staten Island.
We have quite a bit of witches running around Staten Island. And I always tell my students at Witchcraft 1, if you're here to get a man, you're in the wrong class. Because if you're here just to get a man,
Yeah.
there's the door. I'll refund your money.
Yeah, go to a bar or something.
Exactly, because a lot of people come because they think I'm going to get that guy.
I'm gonna become a witch
Just to
so
get
I
that guy.
can cast spells and
Yeah.
get that person.
And it doesn't work that way.
Or how about people that might want to come and become a witch so that they can do bad things to people?
I've had that too.
Yeah.
I've had that too. When people say to me all the time, well, you're so psychic, how come you didn't know? Because I'm also human and I have to learn lessons as well.
Oh,
I'm a
sure.
Pisces.
A psychic isn't psychic 24/7.
Exactly. Sometimes we got to shut it off.
And sometimes
we
it
gotta-
shuts off on
Exactly.
its own.
You know, so I've learned that, you know, sometimes we need to sometimes we really need to get slammed to
wake up.
To wake up, you know. And recently, you know, I got slammed and I woke up. So not in a bad way,
Yeah.
but in a way of saying, okay, you know what? Now I know what I got to do with my life. Now I know which way I got to go.
Now I know
And-
what I'm here for.
Exactly. And, you know, I've been putting more time into the store. and building the store and making it bigger and better. And you got to come check out the shop because we kind of redid everything.
All right, well,
the front, the back, everything.
I'll take a good look at it sometime.
Come.
I will be
Absolutely.
there. Yes, I'll definitely be coming into the shop. But in the meantime, though, all right. So, let's see now. You yourself charge candles.
Yes.
So tell me about what you do when you charge a candle for somebody who wants a certain result.
Well, somebody might come to me and ask for a love candle or a money candle, and what I'll do is I'll take the right color. So say we're doing a love candle.
All right.
And I always start with saying to them, how is your self-esteem and your self-confidence? Because if you don't have good self-esteem or self-confidence, it's not going to work. And that goes with everything, career, job. If you don't feel like you're worthy of having that good job or career or love in your life, it's not going to work. So I work with their self-esteem first.
Get them to believe that they deserve.
They deserve it. Get somebody to look in a mirror. Because if you can't look in a mirror, then it's a waste of time. So once I get that portion done, then what I do is I'll say they're doing a love candle. I'll take a pink candle. I'll anoint it with the right oils during the right moon phases. I'll put the correct oils, glitter.
You take the candle out of the
vessel.
Vessel, and you can even write on it with
we write on it. We charge it. We actually carve into it, and then what I do is I tell them to take it home, and work with it for about 15 minutes, because what happens is I want them to put their own energy into it as well.
So work with it by taking it in their hands.
Their left hand.
Oh, in their left hand.
Left hand, and just talk to it like you're talking to me. Mm-hmm. And then once you feel like you've done enough, light that candle and let it go. Mm-hmm. And leave it.
Yeah. And now if you're going to leave the house, of course, you have a candle. You're not going to leave a candle lit.
Especially if you have small animals that could jump, cats, dogs, babies in the house. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah, you never leave anything burning or anything. You don't even leave a clothes dryer on.
No, nothing unattended.
Nothing unattended that could cause a fire. And so you would snuff it. You don't blow it out, you snuff it.
Yes,
right?
Because if you blow out a candle, you blow your attention away.
Right. So,
and people don't realize that.
I know, and that's the funny thing.
It's like a birthday wish.
I was going to say,
yeah.
when you blow out candles on your birthday cake, they say you're blowing your wish away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So what you do is you can take a Poland Spring bottle or even another cup and just kind of snuff it out.
Yeah, or a little pot cover or something. Put it on top
and then
until
what you
it goes out.
Never light it with a match, because a match has too much sulfur.
You're
going to use a lighter.
And then they have those long lighters you can
99 cents store you could buy them.
Right.
And then you just take it and you say, I want to rekindle this spell. And light it, and it will rekindle.
Right, when you come back and you're able to watch it.
Absolutely. It's magical, it works. And just
Does a person doing something like that have to have a specific place for it, or can they just, I'm working in the kitchen right now, so I'll put the candle over here.
Well, if you're working in the kitchen, it's usually money magic, because that's the hearth of the home. If you're doing love or sex magic, I would do that in the bedroom.
Okay.
So it does depend on what room you put it in. Sometimes if you don't have enough room, you can certainly leave it on the kitchen table and let it burn out. If you're having company, what I would do is snuff it, put it in the bedroom, don't let them see it.
Yeah, don't let anybody see it or touch it.
The less the people see it, the better.
Or know about it.
Yes.
There's certain things you have to keep to yourself.
I don't care how close you are to that person.
You don't tell them that you're doing a spell.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense, because, you might get somebody that is not a well-wisher.
Exactly.
And might throw some negativity into it.
And the negativity could be that they just don't believe in it, and that can kind of zap it.
Right.
By not believing in something can zap it.
You're better off keeping those things to yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So anyway, though, all righty. What about, you use tarot cards and stuff like that. What do you get out of it? I mean, I used to dabble with tarot cards, but you know what happened? I don't know where they are. It's
Really?
like they got
disappeared?
They disappeared.
Well, a lot of times too, anytime a crystal breaks or a crystal disappears or tarot cards can disappear,
Yeah.
that means they collected negativity and they're done. So buy yourself a new pack or buy yourself a new crystal. But I use tarot cards when I do my psychic readings.
They say tarot cards, though, should be given to you. You shouldn't buy them yourself.
Well, I say I look at it as it's 2015.
Yeah.
So you most definitely can buy them for yourself.
Oh, yeah?
In the olden days, they used to say, don't let anybody, don't buy them for yourself, let somebody give them to you, which is great, but sometimes people don't give them to you, you know?
I'm waiting for somebody to give them to me.
Wait.
So
But,
rather than wait, just go and get them.
Exactly. If a deck is calling you, definitely use it.
Yeah.
And it tells you your past, present, and future. A lot of times now when I do my readings, because I've been doing so many medium readings, that when I do psychic readings, spirit will actually come through. So when people come to me, they're not only getting a psychic reading, they're getting a medium reading too. So it's like a 2-for-1. I hate to say it like that, but actually that's what's happening.
One of these days, maybe sometime before the end of the year, we'll do a live call, and I haven't done one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
I haven't done one of them in years either,
Yes.
where you can bring your cards in and flip them for people on the telephone.
And then maybe spirit will come through as well. You never know.
You
Because
never
spirit
know.
does come through even if we're on the phone.
Well, if they have a specific message and they're really looking to, to see their loved one be able to get a message, and they come across somebody like you, they will utilize the opportunity to get a message through.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So it's different phases. But when it comes to witchcraft, I have to say witchcraft is a very good religion. We do no harm.
Right. Well,
we're not satanic.
what you say is, what is your motto there?
It's do it that wilt and
But
it harm
none.
none, which means you could do anything that you want as long as you
you're
don't
not
harm
harming
anyone.
Anyone. Not harming another person, not harming an animal, not harming
A plant.
A plant.
A tree.
A tree.
I go sometimes walking in the park and you'd be surprised. There's the kids that pull the branches off the trees and,
That hurts them.
Yeah, exactly, because they're living.
It's funny because I don't know if you remember Willow Earth. She was
Yes.
Anyway, I have to get in touch with her and see if she wants to come do another show sometime. But she was with me one time, and the day before I saw her, she came in to do a show, and she would sit in my kitchen with me and do a reading before we came to the studio to do the show. And the day before, I was with a friend, and we parked the car somewhere. It was a hot summer day, and we parked the car underneath this tree, and I happened to look up, and there wasn't a lot of leaves on the tree. And I said, oh, look at this poor tree. It's very, very sparse. And then I just went about my own business.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, the following day, I'm sitting there with Willow Earth, and she says to me, you were talking to a tree yesterday. And I says to her, well, I wasn't talking to the tree. I was talking about the tree.
Yep.
She says, yes, you were expressing concern, and
Yep.
the tree wants to thank you. And I was like, oh, my God.
I believe it.
100%.
100%.
She picked up on the spirit of a tree wanting to say thank you to me for being concerned that it wasn't very sparsely leaved.
Yep. The other day I wasn't feeling well. I actually went into the park and I just put my hands on the tree.
Yeah.
I didn't hug it. I just put my hands on the tree and I transmitted energy. Because what the tree will do is it will take the negative energy and turn it into positive energy and put it back into your body. And I felt so much better.
Really?
And I'm
so
not,
that's why they say hug a tree?
yeah, and I'm not one of those mumbo-jumbo new ages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm very blunt. I'm very real and to the point. But it works. It really does work.
I'm sure. Well, that's why it's very important to recycle, especially papers.
Yep.
So that some trees may be spared.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm very big on recycling. Very briefly, we have a few minutes left, but very briefly, let's talk about you. You mentioned to me that you are in the midst of writing a book.
Yes.
Now, what is the book about?
Well, the book is going to be about witchcraft. And right now,
You
I
said
have
you got
about
7 chapters?
7 or 8 chapters going.
Okay, and how many are there going to be, or?
I'm doing it on the basis of witchcraft and my life as a witch. So I may look for a ghostwriter as well to kind of help me along the way.
Yeah.
To because I have
To
so
finish
many
it up?
stories.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets so hard to get everything down. But we are writing a book. We have so much going on. And the Halloween Witches Ball.
Oh yeah,
Which
the
you're gonna
Halloween-
be
which
there.
is- Right, I'm definitely going to be there. That'll be
gonna be
October.
fun.
October 24th this year. I know.
love it.
It's a great party. It really
Yes.
is. Yeah, we have a good time at that party. It's really good. So then, when do you think your book is going to be finished?
I'm hoping for December.
Okay.
I'm hoping for December.
You working on it pretty steadily?
Oh, so I'm working on that. I'm working on the Witches Ball. I'm working full-time hours at the shop, the readings. So we got so much going on.
Well, you're a
but
very busy person, huh?
knock wood.
Busy witch.
Well, that's what I say. You know what? Oh, never look a gift horse in the mouth, because when the universe gives you something, go with it.
Take it graciously.
Exactly, and be humble.
That's right. Be humble and have an attitude of gratitude.
Exactly.
Because that's where, when you have an attitude of gratitude for all the good things that come into your life, you get more good things coming. You know,
And
when you
it's-
say, I am blessed. It was Pranananda who's going to be on the show come September. He says that you should take in, I think, 6 or 7 deep breaths. And then when you get there, you say, I am so blessed. And then you let out the breaths and you say, I am so grateful. And you know, when you do that and you do it enough, you find good things coming into your life.
Exactly. Exactly. You just kind of, I call it like an alpha level, where you kind of just open up everything and you get rid of the negativity. You go from beta to alpha.
Yeah.
And alpha is where we're psychic. So we have the psychic waves going on, our subconscious mind. So, you know, like I said, you know, even though I've been doing this since, well, I've been seeing spirits since I'm 3.
You see spirits.
I see spirits. I just turned 40, so I've been doing it for 37 years.
Wow.
And, you know, I always say I learn something new every day. If somebody tells you I know everything and I'm a grandpooba,
nobody knows
it's
everything.
BS, because we learn every day.
You don't stop learning on this plane until the day you die.
And then you go,
And then
the next
after
plane,
that,
you learn more.
You continue learning.
Absolutely.
It's all a school,
Yep.
and it's all to get our spirits to a certain point where we're in a high realm in heaven when the time comes for us to spend eternity.
Exactly. And like I said, no matter, you know, what door, there's one door, many different keys, but we're all going to this, as long as we're good, we're all going to the same place.
As long as we're good.
As long as we're good.
Well, you know, we do have to account for everything we do. And especially what you put in black and white, God's going to say, what's this?
Exactly.
And once you put something in black and white, especially mean things and lies and nasty stuff,
Yep. I'm
can't
done
take
with
it back.
I'm done with the lies. I'm done with, you know, the nasty people. And, you know, when I find a liar or a nasty person, it's time to move on.
That's right.
I don't have time
It's
in
time
my
to
life.
say, leave that
You know
person
what?
to God.
I'm
And-
not that old, but I'm at that age where I'm 40 now, and I just want to live a nice, drama-free life.
That's all.
I've been very blessed with the shop,
Yes.
and, you know,
Oh, your life has been very
yeah,
blessed.
very
I mean, I've
blessed.
known you for 10 years now
exactly,
since you opened
and
up.
the growth, you know, and I know Mom's behind in the spirit world, just watching me move forward.
Absolutely.
Just like Dad is in the physical, watching me move forward.
That's right.
We got to give Dad props too.
Well, that's absolutely right. And we all have our spirit entourage, including our angels, guardian angels,
spirit guides,
guides,
everything.
and loved ones who follow us around and take care of us. And with that, I'm going to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Oh, it was a pleasure
It
having
always
you.
goes so fast,
It does. It always goes so
but that means it's fun.
It was fun, and I hope everybody enjoyed and got a lot of information tonight. Good night.
Good night.